Well, hello there, YouTube. There's a number of very weird questions that have been asked on adverts on television recently. One of them is, what makes you walk a little taller? And of course it's referring to some kind of beauty product, like your typical face cream type adverts. What makes you walk a little taller? Higher heels on your shoes? Quite a simple one. Longer legs? Then there's one thing. Kinder chocolate bars. It's to get your child to be the face of Kinder chocolate bars. You have to send them a picture and say what your kid likes. How does your child like their face painted, and why? Well, I was going to say with a paintbrush. For a start, yeah. But how does your child like their face painted and why? Well, my child likes it. I haven't got one. Well, I might have. That's a long story. But my child likes their face painted as a tiger. Why? Because they're having their face painted. Doesn't matter how they have their face painted, as long as they're having their face painted. I want to be a tiger. Why? Because I do. There's no real reason why a child wants their face painted as a tiger. It's just they're getting paint put on their face and not getting told off for it. Whereas all the other times they stick paint on their face, you complain at them. And then there's a very silly question that gets asked a lot, not on adverts, but just in general, in life, And that question is this: how have mobile phones changed our lives? And that question normally comes in two forms. You get asked the question, has a mobile phone changed your life? And then, how has it changed your life? And not just your life in general, but everyone's life. So, has a mobile phone changed my life? Yes. A mobile phone has changed my life. How has it changed my life? Well, I now have less money. Because you're constantly having to pay for it, aren't you? Does it help me keep in touch with people any more than I usually would? Marginal. Does it help me meet new people? Marginal. It's not helping me meet new people in a way that I couldn't do on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. The only way it has changed my life is if I ever have to call someone, and it's a real dire need that I need to speak to a certain person for a specific reason, I have the ability to call them or text them wherever I am. It doesn't matter where I am. I could be walking down the street, I could be in the middle of nowhere. As long as there's power in the battery and I have credit on the phone, I can talk to anyone I need to talk to. That's the only real way it has changed my life. And then I have a personal MP3 player on the go everywhere I go. Has it changed people in general? Because it's not just about changing your life, it's changing other people's lives. Have mobile phones changed society? I'd say yes. Mobile phones have changed society. It's changed the way people communicate. It's changed the way people run their lives. It's changed the way people live their lives. And it's not all good changes, especially among younger people, like teenagers. Yes, mobile phones allow them to keep in touch with their friends a lot better than Facebook would. and that sort of thing. There's quite a few negative changes in lives of teenagers because of mobile phones. It makes them very closed to people around them, and it makes them more open to complete strangers. And they, with the introduction of mobile applications like BBM, Instagram, and that sort of thing, they are now able to talk absolutely free and send pictures absolutely free to people they don't even know. And whereas me or you as an adult would use that, wisely and carefully, they just randomly send, naked images around, or messages of their private personal feelings to random people, and they send it further on, and it can lead to a lot of bullying over it, because if your person you send it to sends it to the wrong person, then half of your school could find out what your sensitive feelings are, and you could be, bullied to the point where you want to leave the school. This was never an issue when I was younger. We didn't have, mobile phones were only really starting to be used when I was younger. I don't think I had one when I was at school. But I had the internet back then, and I could use the internet, and I knew what I was doing on the internet. But it's also a good thing, because it allows people the chance to convey their feelings. If they can't say something to you face to face, they will send it in a text, which can also be bad because you can split up with your boyfriend or girlfriend by text or whatever, But it also means you can tell people things that you wouldn't normally tell them face to face. So mobile phones bring people together, but they also drive them apart. And they seem to drive people apart more than they bring them together. Because you get in much the way that Facebook and that did the exact same thing in both directions. Mobile phones now do the same thing, and even more so. And the worst thing about it is phones are now being adapted to the way you use them. You can now set up your phone the way you use it. So if you use it for more business dealings, you can buy the phone and you can change a bunch of the settings to make it more business-like. Whereas if you're a social networker and a game player, you can change it to be more social networky and gamey. Like a one-touch Facebook application and that sort of thing. Basically all these apps are being created to allow you to use the phone more for the purpose that you want to use it. Now, as many people know, I've had this Maker phone and this model of phone for quite some time. My original one of these was silver, or grey, whatever you want to call it. This one's black, obviously. I've had several phones over the years, and it got to a point where I started only buying Sony Ericssons. Not because I like them more than anything like that, but because for what I wanted, they seemed to be the best choice. And I got as far as the Sony Ericsson W595, and I thought this is the culmination of years of mobile technology. This is all you need, basically. It has certain apps on there for accessing Facebook and YouTube directly without needing to go on the internet to do it. although you can if you wish, and I do. It has games and the ability to have more games. It has quite a lot of memory. It has the ability to play MP3s. It's got a radio. It's got a camera. It's got video recording capability. The videos aren't excellent quality compared to today's mobile phones, but back when this was made, it was one of the best cameras and video quality and picture quality that you could have. Lots of customization options. A lot of the newer phones, especially like iPhones and that, you can change the ringtone, you can change the alarm tone, but you can't change the text message tone to anything that's not a pre-done one. Whereas I can set absolutely anything as my text tone, my alarm, and whatever. And it's everything I need from my phone is right there in that phone. And a lot of people thought that. A lot of people got to the point where they bought a specific phone and they thought they'd never want any other phone ever again. As long as they could have that phone and it still worked, or they could replace their phone with another model exactly the same, that's all they would need. So why are we still making newer phones and newer apps and new designs of phones? Now we have touchscreen phones and we have one-touch applications and all this crap. We don't need them. There's So I don't get why we need to make all these new things. And every time they make a new app and a new phone with all the new apps on it and everything, you get this advert for it or whatever, and it sort of gets drummed into your head that you need this phone, this is the best phone you can buy at the moment, you need this phone. Not if you get this phone you'll look cool compared to everyone else. No, it's you need this phone. We've made this phone because you need it. We've made this phone because society as a whole needs it. No, we don't need it at all. Why are you telling us we need something when we don't? I don't need this brand new mobile phone that's got fucking all this extra app crap on it that I'm never going to use, and the capability to do so many new things I'm never going to want to do. They think that the companies think that just because the phone gives us the ability to do lots more things, that we're actually going to want to do them. No, we're not. Both as a single person and as a whole society, we only need what we need. If you have your phone and it does everything you need your phone to do, or you want your phone to do, then why would you buy a phone that has the capability to do more things? Like your electric shaver. If your electric shaver shaves you the way you want it to shave you, why would you want to buy this new Philips one that shaves even closer? Or this Wilkinson Sword one that has 3 circular shaver points on it that goes around your chin perfectly and follows the contours of your face. If your shaver automatically does all that anyway and shaves your face the way you want it shaved, why would you need this new shaver? It's the same with a Hoover. If your Hoover hoovers your floor the way you know that your floor should be hoovered, then why do you need this new vacuum cleaner that has twice the suction and whatever? It's pointless. Is it going to hoover your floor any quicker? No. Is it going to help you in any way? No. The only difference is you're probably going to empty it less often. That's basically it. Although if it has twice the suction, it's going to suck up twice as much stuff, isn't it? Essentially. So you're probably going to end up emptying it more often. I don't really see the point in any of it. Yeah. They bring out all these new things to enhance your life. But your life was already enhanced to the point where it doesn't need to be enhanced anymore. So why are we still enhancing it? With the possible exception, and I mean the possible exception, of cars. And that's the one I really, really don't get. Like over the years, all the different car companies, from Jaguar to Rover to Vauxhall to Ford, they've all made different vehicles from each other. You could take all the emblems of a car and whatever, and any record that there's been an emblem on it, and you could line the cars up and you'd still go, that's the Peugeot, that's the Ford, that's the Jaguar, that's a Rolls Royce, that's the Rover, that's a Fiat, that's the Seat, that's the Skoda, like that. But nowadays, all the car companies are either buying each other out or whatever, but they're all starting to make vehicles that sort of look the same. There was the Jaguar that came out a while ago that looked exactly like, and I mean exactly like, because it was exactly like the Rover. It was the same bodywork as the Rover, it was the same wheels as the Rover, it was the same engine as the Rover. The only thing different was it didn't have the Rover emblem, it had a Jaguar emblem. That was it. So basically, you were buying the Jaguar, but you were buying a Rover. I don't get why companies now have to make cars that are all sort of the same. You look at the new Seats, and you look at the new Fords, and you look at the new Skodas and whatever, and they all look relatively the same. And it's stupid. And they put all this new technology in them, like there's reversing cameras now. So you have a camera that, you can look at the monitor when you're reversing to see if you're going to hit anything. If you're a good driver in the first place, you're not going to hit anything. Because you know how big your car is, and you know how to control a car, and you're never going to crash into another vehicle by driving backwards. Unless you do it on purpose. Same with the reversing beep thing, to say that you're getting too close to the vehicle or too close to the wall, like beep 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 beep. There's no point in any of that technology. There's that new one on the advert. It has a text reader. Now we've had it drummed into us that you should not use your phone while driving the car, whether it be having a conversation or just sending a text message or what. You should never use your phone while driving the car. Yet now you can receive text messages in your car. No point in that. No point in being able to receive text messages to your car. Just the same as getting the text on your phone. Still going to distract you. It's pointless. I don't want a text reader in my car. Although we are developing, somewhere, developing the technology of cars that drive themselves. And I think this is a genius idea. Obviously there are some problems that need to be ironed out, and people have tried remote control cars before, full-size remote control vehicles. Programs like Scrap Heap Challenge and that sort of thing have made remote controllable vehicles. But this is going to be a vehicle that's going to be driven by directions given to it by like a sat nav. So you program the sat nav of where you want to go, and where it would normally tell you to turn left, it tells the car, and the car automatically turns left. But if they bring that out, are you still going to need a driving test? Because it's never going to be you driving the car anymore. It's going to be the computer driving the car. So are you going to need a driving test? The only problem at the moment with computers driving your car for you is if it's going to work off sat-nav. I mean, people who follow sat-nav have reported errors that it's telling you to go the wrong way down a one-way street. This woman nearly drove her car straight off a cliff because the sat-nav told her to. Although she must feel like an idiot. So there's a few things that need to be ironed out with the sat-nav system first. But yeah, if we have these cars that drive themselves, are you going to need a driving test to have to drive them, or are you going to have to do some kind of computer test? But I do like the idea that like you can get into a car though, and you can just like sit in the back seat. You just lean forward, you type in the sat nav where you want to go, and you just sit back in the back seat, pour yourself a whiskey, and just right in the car, off we go. Obviously the only problem with a sat nav system is it would give you the most direct route to where you want to go. So if you wanted a more scenic route, you'd have to have like a 3 or 4 step plan. It's like, I want to go via the countryside, so I want to go here and then here. Go. And then sit back and enjoy the countryside as you go to work or something. It's a genius idea, and I hope it like comes to fruition, before I'm too old to enjoy it. Obviously before I die, And I want to be able to say I was in a car that drove itself. But yeah. Of course, what do you think? I mean, has a mobile phone changed your life, and how? And do you think a mobile phone has changed people as a whole? And what features would you put in or take out of up-to-date mobile phones? More up-to-date than this one, of course. What would you add in? If you were creating a mobile phone, what would you make? Now, what I would make is pretty much this, maybe a longer battery life, more storage capacity. Obviously, it's got a memory card reader in it anyway. I want more USB functionality than what it currently has. And I'd probably add in the ability to while it's connected to a USB, use the phone via the laptop and use the laptop via the phone, or computer or whatever, so that I could, use access my desktop or whatever by using my phone, that sort of thing. And the other way around, like use my laptop to tell my phone to text someone. Use my laptop to access my mobile phone's phone book, so I can get someone's phone number and email address and send them an email or whatever, or download an email address and a phone number directly to the phone without having to type it in or whatever. So yeah, I mean that I definitely have that in as a feature. Other features, I don't think there's really any more I'd want to add in, and there's none I'd want to take out. There's no features I'd want to take off this phone. I definitely would want a better battery life and more space. There's a lot more capabilities you can do with Bluetooth that we obviously don't have the technology to do it at the moment. But I think Bluetooth games would be a good thing. Like you could have a Bluetooth version of Laser Quest. Yeah. I mean, we have Bluetooth answer phone. You know, you can wirelessly answer your phone and whatever. You should be able to wirelessly listen to your music as well. You know, and that sort of thing. You should be able. I mean, you can voice control your phone using the Bluetooth headset. I mean, I've got a Bluetooth headset. It's right here. I'll show you. Look, it's an old one. I mean, I've got a Bluetooth headset, and it is connected to my phone. All I've got to do is switch it on. I hardly ever use it. For the simple reason that I can't get my music played into it from my phone. If I could play my music into my Bluetooth headset via my phone, I would use it more often. Because you don't need that long headset of training headphones. I mean, at the moment, you know, I use my headphones to listen to music when I'm on the go, you know, using my mobile phone. And I can answer my phone with the headphones. You know. So you don't really need this. But if they added in the ability to use Bluetooth and Bluetooth headsets to listen to music on your phone and listen to the radio from your phone and whatever, then obviously the need for phone headphones would be gone, but people would enjoy it more because they could use this. You still have your headphones, but you'd probably use this more often. And that's another feature I think they should put into phones as well. You've got the FM radio. I think we should have AM radio. I want to be able to listen to Classic Gold, which is a medium wave radio station, not an FM, on my mobile phone. I want to listen to AM radio stations on my phone. Medium wave, long wave, whatever. And that's really the only thing that I would add into a phone. Like I said, there's nothing I would take off this phone. Everything that's on it is something I would use anyway. So yeah, that would be my perfect design of a phone. And it would need to be small as well. So this is the right sort of size, because this fits in. If you're a person who wears jeans, on the right hand side you've got your regular pocket, and then you've got that smaller pocket for no reason at all. This fits perfectly into that pocket, with enough of it sticking out so that you can press these buttons and have your headphones plugged in without it being, unsafe or at risk of falling out. Obviously it's going to come out if you're running, but if you're running you're not going to have it in your fucking pocket in the first place. And this fits nicely straight into that upper pocket there, like that. Like I said, with enough of it sticking out so that I can press the buttons on the go. And my headphones go in there. It's not forcing my headphones out of the slot or anything like that. And I can sit there with it in my with my phone in my pocket and not even notice it's there most of the time. It's not taking up space in one of my regular pockets. I'm not having to stick it in here or in here or in one of my other pockets. I'm not accidentally sitting on it because I put it in my back pocket like an idiot. Like some people do. They put their phone in their back pocket and then wonder why they're calling people in their pocket or whatever. But yeah, but that'll be a phone as I design it, basically, and that would be my ideal phone. Basically just this with a few extra abilities. One thing I might take off this phone, because I don't use it if it was me designing the phone myself, I'd take it off, but I'd give you the ability to download it again. There's a Facebook app, and there's a YouTube app on these phones. I would not want them, because if I want to use Facebook or YouTube, I'll just go on the internet. It still uses the internet data anyway. It's just an app, and it's set out horribly, and I'd rather just go on the website directly. But that would be probably the only thing I ever take off the phone. So yeah, I mean, what would your ideal phone be if you could design one? What would it look like? You know, if you're quite artistic, why don't you draw it? But I'd love to know what people think of, what's the best type of phone, and what would be the best features to have in their phone, and that sort of thing. It'd be interesting to know what people think of phones, and from what people want in their phone, it tells you what sort of things they use their phone for. So yeah, if you could design a phone, what would you want on it? What would it look like? And why? And that's the question I put to you, the YouTube community. Been interesting. I want to get some pretty weird responses from this. Hopefully some pretty good design ideas. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.